Hey everybody, it's Nate here. Coming with an update. I know a few people like to get updates, especially my family. Sitting here on the mid-Atlantic coast region in the Carolinas, and it's supposed to be warm down here, but it's not. It was dropped down into the 30s last night. Something I want to bring up, and this is just my personal opinion, but the company Melton offers quarterly bonuses, and one of the criteria for getting a bonus has to do with fuel and fuel mileage. I got the sun. I'm going to change the angle here. Fuel mileage. I really want to get that bonus. I mean, it's like free money hanging out there. So there's other criteria too, safe driving, all that. If you don't get any moving violations, etc., etc. But it seems like the big thing is the fuel. Like I said, it was cold last night. Well, I'm a northern boy from Vermont, and the cold doesn't bother me. I got a warm blanket, courtesy of my ex-girlfriend, feather blanket, and so all week I've been shutting down at these truck stops, and all the trucks all around me are all idling all night long. I assume because they don't want to get cold and they got their heater running. But I'm not doing that. I haven't idled at all, and I think it's going to help my fuel economy, and it's going to help me get that fuel bonus. At least I hope. So that's just a little something that I do. I mean, it's a personal choice. But if you want to get that fuel bonus, don't idle your truck unless you absolutely have to. In the training truck, our APU went down, and our truck wouldn't idle. It would shut off after 4 minutes. We had one night it was 11 below zero. We made it through. It was cold when we got up in the morning, but if you got the right kind of blankets, you can do it. So I'm not planning on idling now. When it gets summertime and it's super hot, I might have to rethink that strategy, because I do not like to sweat at night. But I may try to go get a little fan that I can plug into one of the cigarette lighters back there, and hopefully the fan will keep me cool enough so I won't need to idle and use the air conditioning. If I'm somewhere where it's 100 degrees at night, I might have to, but that's my plan anyways, to try to avoid idling and keep my fuel mileage up. I think I've been averaging 7.5, and I don't know if it's accurate what it's telling me on here, but I did do the math between one fill up, and I think that run I averaged 7.1 or 7.2 according to the real numbers. So I think it's pretty accurate, and I think the criteria to get that bonus is like 6.0 something. So I should be on track to do it. The only other thing I will comment on this update, I got down here yesterday, but I'm on one of these loads that's a JIT, just in time. You can't be early, you can't be late. And it says all over the paperwork, no early delivery. Well, I could have delivered yesterday. My appointment is until today at 12:30 afternoon. I was here yesterday 24 hours early. But I'm pretty sure they don't want me calling the consignee, however you pronounce it. So I'm not going to take it upon myself to do that. But man, it would have been nice to deliver yesterday, because the earlier I can deliver, the better chance for me of getting a load for the weekend. But today's Thursday, so I'm hoping that I can at least get something tomorrow and a nice long run over the weekend that I can deliver on Monday. But it's just part of the game, I mean, one of these deliveries, you can't go early. I don't know why I had so much time for it. I don't think it's because I'm a newbie driver. I don't really think that they give you extra time for that. I think it's just because my next load will probably be tight. You know, I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with that. I think it was just the scheduling and the way it worked out. So this was a really easy trip, you know, for my second load. You know, I ran 450 miles the first day, 500 the second, and then yesterday, my third day, was only like 300 and some odd miles. And I'm within 25 miles of the where I got to deliver. I didn't see anything about overnight parking there. If I did, I would have gone right there. But another thing for me to think about was where I'm going to shut down. So I came to there's a series of truck stops. I came to the one that's closest to the delivery address. And then I got to think about when I want to go. Because once I start my 14-hour clock. Now I want to have as much time after I deliver on that 14-hour clock to afford me the opportunity to go pick up another load if one is available today. So it would be stupid for me to go on duty first thing this morning. But I also am going to try to go a little bit early. I mean, I don't want to be late, so I'm thinking maybe an hour. Maybe if my appointment's at 12:30, I'm going to leave here. I got a half hour to get there, so I'm going to leave here at 11, get there at 11:30, and hopefully don't tick them off for being an hour early, and maybe they'll let me in and I'll have an hour. And that'll also ensure that I'm not late. But it's a fine line there. You know, I want to start, then they may say, you got to sit for an hour. Well, then I've just wasted an hour off my 14-hour clock. But if I tried to go in super early this morning, say 5 hours early, and I get there and they say, we said no early delivery, you got to sit and wait, then that would have been a mistake, because I would have been burning my 14-hour clock, and by the time I get the tarps off and get everything ready to go for the next load, I would already be 8 hours into my clock. I'd only have 6 hours to go. So it's just things you got to think about when you're out here on the road. Try to make the right decision. It's hard to know. I mean, I could get there and they could say, hey, you could have showed up this morning at 8 o'clock. Then I'd be kicking myself. But kind of just got to make a decision based on the information I have. And my decision is that I'm going to pull out of here at 11 o'clock, pull in there 11:30. It's an hour before the appointment time. Hopefully they'll let me through. But worst case scenario, I'll just have to sit for an hour and then go unload. All right, here's a look. You can take a quick look at the load and my tarping job. I can't tell you what's inside. It's a secret. All right, here's my tarp job. This is my second load. Tarped it down on the radar. She held up the whole trip, 1,400 miles. So I guess I did a good job. One thing that happened, while I was driving, I looked in my mirror and I saw my bulkhead had the board, they were sticking out. I pulled over immediately. I had just gone through hit some big bumps on the highway. Somehow the snap binder opened up, and I had it, I had the chain wrapped around, and I had a bungee pulling it, the way you're supposed to. I don't know how it came free, but luckily I check my mirrors regularly, and it, I don't know when it opened up, but I saw it as soon as they started to come out. So I pulled over, and it was also raining at the time too. But that was the only issue on the trip, and I was able to pull over and take care of it. So no harm, no foul. Other than that, it was smooth sailing. Tarps all held up, and I think it looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. And I've been here for almost 20, well, it'll be almost 24 hours by the time I leave today. I got early. It was one of these just-in-time deliveries. You can't deliver early. So I've just been sitting, nothing I can do. Frustrating, because I would like to, you know, the quicker I can get another load, the better. But it's beyond my control, so I'm just waiting for the clock to get up. I'm going to show up a little bit early, maybe an hour. Hopefully they don't yell at me for that. But yeah, I think I'm going to make some coffee and some breakfast. Yeah, I like to take pride in what I do, and I'm new to all this, so I don't claim to be good at anything, but each time I'll get better, and each time it'll get easier.